Unusual say. Good afternoon. Questions for Coach?
Obviously a slow start. What turned it around there in the third quarter?
Probably the time of day. It looked like we woke up at halftime a little bit, but overall offense really woke up, playing with the pace that we wanted to, taking care of the ball. Defensively, 2 46-point halves, so that's not bad overall. It's just we had a 65-point second half offensively, and we 10 turnovers at halftime, only 4 in the second half. They're one of the top transition teams, so we were hurting ourselves there in the first half. And really, penetration get downhill. We know this is a team we can attack in the pick and roll and get downhill, and I think some guys got started a little slower than others, but Dennis, JB were really attacking. JT, got in the mix in the second half and kind of opened up the floodgates there.
I think from the outside, people want to see like those just complete games, start to finish. Obviously, everybody involved does, but what does it say about two straight now finishing, 2 games finishing rather than obviously what's been happening?
Yeah, we're growing in that area. Obviously, to go down 18 isn't ideal, but to flip it back to 17 in our favor, shows that we had some resolve and fought through it, which we've done a lot this year, but at times lost some of those close games. But just that we're going to keep grinding. Obviously, we've been doing that all year. Just a poor start overall. We're all looking for that perfect game, complete game, and the energy really was the thing that was a little bit lacking at the start, but other guys carried the load. We still guarded well, and then our offense picked up and kind of opened up floodgates, like I said.
When they're packing the paint the way they were, how much do you miss Rob and his gravity down the middle?
Yeah, obviously he was a huge threat there. So it's a balance. I mean, we know they're not the best middle pick and roll defensive team, so we're trying to attack them there. But to your point, they crowd the paint, and we got some wide open kick out threes that more fell in the second half, but we also don't like to just settle for contested ones early in the clock. We showed them that at halftime, the good wide open kickouts versus, some that were semi-contested with 15 or so seconds, and we could still drive, penetrate, and get whatever we want there. So I think we didn't settle as much. You saw some guys pass up some decent shots, but move it and get the next guy wide open shot. So that's what we stressed, and I think that's what kind of happened in the second half.
Jason didn't make a three-pointer. I think he gets just one jump shot. What does it do for your offense when he's able to be efficient and productive, even when his jumper's not there?
Yeah, it's obviously great for us, the pressure he puts on the rim. But like I said, I think he saw Dennis and when he was out, Dennis and JB and some of those guys get downhill, and he kind of followed suit there. But it's what we wanted him to do from the start. The 1-3, the toe was on the line, so technically not a 3, but he was in attack mode, and we love that side of him. They are the 30th worst middle pick and roll team, so we knew that was an area we can attack them in, and just wanted to get downhill on Valanciunas and some of the other guys, the smalls as well. And like I said, it was good for him to be out and see other guys do it, and he just got in attack mode. And when he's aggressive like that, getting to the free throw line, getting to the basket, it makes us a much better team, obviously. Thanks.
Couple Zoom questions from Mark Murphy first.
Hi, Ime. Does it ever get a little frustrating for you that you have to continually tell these guys to get downhill to attack?
At times, that is the game plan against specific defenses, and it's not just for them. It's to draw that crowd and get open looks. So, at times early in the game, you're settling for contested ones. Yeah, you'd like to attack more there, but guys are also confident, and guys that usually walk into those threes are high-level shooters. Jason, Jalen specifically, but at times, we don't want to bail out a team that's not the best defensive team. We don't want to let them off the hook, and that was the message after the first quarter. And really at halftime was to, continue to attack, be aggressive there, and then you'll get the wide open kickouts. So, not frustrated, maybe not the right word, but you just got to continue to harp and show them the shots we can get, and not just settle at times. They are very confident in their pull-ups and their 3-ball, but we want to take advantage of what teams don't do well.
Keith Smith.
Coach, it seemed like Aaron Nesmith came in and played with really great energy. What was it that made you go to him for such a long stretch in the second half?
Yeah, it was even in the first half. I didn't love our energy, like I mentioned. And, defensively, we were solid overall, but offensively, like you said, or like Mark said, the ball wasn't moving as much. We weren't getting downhill, and he brings energy and effort on every play, both ends of the floor. So it was really his energy in the first half. We were searching for something with some of the guys we brought in. And then the second half, he just really got it going with that unit. He was guarding well, rebounding well, whether shots fall or not, to your point, the energy and intensity that he brought change the game with that group. And so we rode them longer. He's a guy obviously hasn't played as much, so he can play a little heavier stint there. And I think those guys finished it out great. We, I don't love overplaying guys that many minutes, but that group was rolling and we stayed with it in the fourth quarter.
Pre-game, Willie Green said, being a first-year head coach for him, it's like you have to learn on the fly. He said basically, it's like you're learning to fly while you're in the air on the plane. How steep is the learning curve? I mean, I know you're just moving over one seat, but how steep is it? And what are some revelations that you've had now being halfway through the season?
I would say at this point, especially with how our season has gone, a little up and down, and the tight games for me, there's nothing really new, that we haven't really seen. All the overtimes and all, we kind of touched on that stuff in the first few weeks of the season. So we've been through a lot of situations. And you can see coach, our staff, as well as myself, grow and learn from those situations, and the players as well. We're getting more comfortable being not whole yet, but having some consistency there. Guys being in and out was, hampering us a little bit. And I think everybody's learning from those situations, not just myself, but I would say we hit everything pretty much in the first few weeks, all the situations. And so I've learned from that and learned what works well for us and what doesn't.
At least with us, you've always seemed even keel. Was there anything surprising to you making that leap?
The things I mentioned is really the big picture approach on organizationally. It's not anything game, plan specific wise. You prepare yourself for certain situations, and whether you're coaching summer league or something else, you put yourself in that situation at times. But just the big picture, and it's all the, I wouldn't say egos, but all of the managing guys, coaching staff as well. That's the main thing. It's nothing really on court that I haven't touched on early in the year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a good example of just kind of staying the course. Like, you guys fell behind by 18. It could have been easy to kind of get out of the game plan and kind of just fall into the hero ball and the ISO ball, but to kind of stick with it and methodically kind of come back. I mean, it's got to be a satisfying win.
Yeah, it is. And like I said, I don't think we never felt we were out of the game. It was offensively, we were making some shots, all the early missed threes, but defensively we were guarding, and we said, let's duplicate that after, the 29-point first quarter. They had 17, 23, and 23. And so going into halftime, we felt good to be only down 7 with not shooting the ball well. We said, okay, let's pick up our offense, continue to duplicate the first half defensively, which we did with another 46. And so I think we had stretches where we saw success offensively as well, and that kind of obviously kept us in the game. And we never were demoralized or out of the game with that feeling. It was really a matter of when our offense gets going. If we continue to defend this well, we'll be in good shape.
It's easy to say that you see signs of progress when you guys are winning, but do you actually see signs of progress in terms of the fourth quarter execution, some of the things that you've been preaching since the beginning of the season?
Yeah, honestly, and I've mentioned quite a bit. We see packages that we like for guys that get specific guys in specific areas and get the shots we want, as opposed to a little more free flowing, equal opportunity early in the year. And so we like the playbook and the plays that we can go to and the multiple options out of those. And for the most part, we can pick on the matchup and get the decent shot that we want. And so I think that's improved throughout the year. And as we've seen things and tweaked things, we've added to the playbook, and that's helped us offensively, down the stretch.
Wrap it up right there. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.